so you love Christmas.
Oh, I love Christmas. I Christmas hard.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So how do you Christmas hard?
I mean, so I try to be cool about stuff because I know everyone gets mad if you like Christmas too early. So I try and like keep it down. But I'm also the type of person, like, if I'm like upset, I don't care if it's July. I will like put on a Christmas movie. I will put on Christmas music. I will absorb those happy, cheerful feelings.
The joy of it, the joyfulness.
Exactly, because that's what I love. So I always tell people like Christmas really hard because I'm trying to absorb all of those happy feelings so that I can keep them, to hold me over for the rest of the year when everything's really shitty, like in January and February. When it's cold, but it's not fun.
Sure. My birthday month, January.
Yeah. Also my mother's.
So you don't think it's too early so when do you actually start do you do like a full decoration type situation?
So I Halloween very hard. I try to do like all the holidays like really hard, but I Halloween very hard. And then I start doing Christmas a little bit right after Halloween.
Okay.
So like November 1st, I'm like, at least getting the decorations out. And then maybe like I'll, switch out my doormat, switch out my door wreath, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And then once we get to Thanksgiving, I Thanksgiving very hard. And then like Thanksgiving Day. So like the tradition is, at least in my family, you watch the Macy's Day Parade. And then once Santa Claus shows up at like noon, that's the symbol of the start of the Christmas season. So it is officially Christmas when Santa Claus shows up. And so that's when like I decorated my tree and stuff like that. Cause I'm like, okay, it's officially Christmas now. No one could get mad at me. Yeah. Like, we're good. And yeah, so I've got a lot of Christmas sweaters and I'll wear Christmas jewelry and Christmas music and Christmas TV shows every day and Christmas movies every day, and just like as much Christmas as I can pack in until it turns January. And then once it hits January, I'm like, it's spring now. Because I don't want to do like boring winter. I'm like, nope, now it's spring.
Well, because all you really have after that is you've got
New Year's.
Groundhog Day. Well, I was going to say afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Valentine's Day.
But then you've got like a few more like political holidays, like presidents and stuff, but that's not really.
I just don't even count any of the summer holidays. I'm not into any of the summer holidays. I like to like grill out. I like to go to barbecues, but otherwise I'm like, I could do that anytime.
Yeah. So do you like the Hallmark Christmas? Because I know that those movies are.
I really try.
They just seem a little too schmaltzy, like a little too much.
Well, I also I'm of the opinion that everything is sad enough. And so I don't need to watch anything that's going to make me sad.
They make you, they have, because
they're usually like sappy and like romantic, and there's like some heartbreak and I don't want to deal with it. I mean, I'm also not like in the most romantic mood these days anyways, but
still
I pretty much only like watch comedy and like sci-fi and we've talked about Dune a time or two. So.
We have we got deep into that, and we'll save that probably for another episode.
That's got to be a whole episode.
We can totally geek out on sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like that. So do you have like your Mount Rushmore Christmas movies?
Oh, absolutely. So my like number one very top is A Christmas Story.
Oh, the classic.
Ultimate movie, funniest movie, most quotable, like perfect movie. I know every line of that movie. I've known every line since I was like 3. Yeah. And like of the classic children's one, it's Year Without a Santa Claus.
Okay.
Hands down. A little more obscure.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen it.
Oh, excellent music. It's the, stop motion animation style.
Oh, yeah. So like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that kind of stuff.
Made by those same guys.
Okay.
And it's just, really funny. I even did one year, I did like a porn set of Heat Miser from that film. So once you watch that movie and you see Heat Miser, you're going to be like, why? But it was just because I loved him so much. And I lived in a place, I needed to do a shoot for Christmas, and I lived in a place that didn't have any snow. I lived in a very warm environment. Yeah. So I was like, okay, Heat Miser Christmas. I think I was wearing this hat probably.
Nice. All right. So you got those two.
Got those two. Oh my gosh. The First White Christmas.
The one Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye?
No, that's White Christmas. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but there's one and it's got what's her name in it? This old lady actress that was like really, really famous and very like wholesome. She was in Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, Angela Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury. She does a voice in it, and she's a nun. And this little boy, this little shepherd boy, gets struck by lightning and he goes blind. And the nuns all have to take care of him. And it's a beautiful story, beautiful music, very like touching. But I don't remember what it's called, but I remember that they sing the first White Christmas is like the main theme of the movie.
Isn't like classic Christmas movies are something different because they were made at a time where I think the world was different and there was I think a lot more I guess optimism overall, and there was a lot of things I think involved. So I don't know if you've ever seen like The Bishop's Wife.
Oh, A Holiday Affair. That's my favorite black and white Christmas film. And the 90s one is almost a shot-for-shot remake, and it's perfect. That's how I want remakes to be made. Yeah. I want the exact movie that I liked, but just like
transposed.
Updated. Yeah. Well, that's what I want.
And they did that. One of my favorite classic ones, and I just watched it for the first time last year, and I'd never seen it before, was the original Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, I love that one.
With Maureen O'Hara and Natalie Wood. And I've seen the remake with Mara Wilson and Elizabeth Perkins, and that's a good remake too.
Right, but no, I prefer the original. I think.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting how those movies again, because they had. There was it seemed like there was still more magic that people believed in the magic of Christmas more.
Right.
Like now there's a lot more cynicism. There's a lot more, it's commercialized.
The vibe is totally different. Yeah.
Whereas back then the idea of watching a movie where could this guy really be Santa? And it's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Because they still tried to do that. So there's something about those older films, although I mean newer films Elf I think is a classic.
I never got into Elf.
You don't like it?
I feel like I was like a little too old. Like I was still like young, I think, but I was a little too old to like be into it. And then I think by the time I actually saw it, I was an adult. So like I missed out on that like nostalgia feeling that people have with it.